My question to you, one of my biggest concerns is immigration.
Yeah. Some of what you said I agree with, and some of what I don't think you're going to agree with. So I'm going to walk through the whole thing. Listen, I know that this issue of immigration and people who've come here illegally is a hot, volatile issue for a lot of Americans. I understand that. I think it's the responsibility of the president to do the right thing, and what that president believes is the decent thing. And here's what I would do if I were president. Number one, I would put much more effort into providing security on our southern border. I don't think we can sustain what's going on there right now. That has to change. That means we're going to have to be willing to put more energy and effort and money and people on our borders to secure them, both north and south. The south is more of a problem than the north right now, but we have to secure the border. We can't sustain what's happening on our southern border right now. The second part, which some of y'all may not like as much, but I'm going to tell you anyway, the second part is that I think people who've been living here for years and working, they ought to be able to earn citizenship so that they're not living in the shadows. There are probably 11, 12 million people living here. Many of them have been here for years, working. What are we going to go find them and deport them? I mean, it's never, I heard yes over here. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. And what I would do if as president, what I would try to get the Congress to pass and sign into law is what I would call comprehensive immigration reform, but I would have a couple of requirements for them to earn citizenship. You know, if they came here illegally, I think that ought to be recognized they ought to have to pay a fine to recognize that they came here illegally. I don't think we can ignore that. The second thing I would do that's a little more controversial is I think they ought to be required to learn to speak English. You know, English is the language of commerce. But all said and done, I think that we ought to change the law to give them a path to earn citizenship. And I think you have to do all these things together, not just one part of it. And I think that's the right thing to do. I really believe that's the right thing to do for America. It may not be the best thing to say politically. I don't know about that. I want to say, I just feel like the need to say that it is really important that we treat everybody, including the people we're talking about, with dignity and respect. I think they're entitled to that.